Welcome back to Ferris Tutorial. Food, Nutrition, and Health. CSEC past paper questions for the year 2019. And we're looking at questions for paper 1. Now, this is part 1 where we'll look at questions 1 through to 30. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Which of the following groups of foods is the best source of proteins? Now, we have two sources of protein as it relates to the category. Now, we have legumes and nuts, which is the plant source, and also food from animals, which is the animal source. Now, let us look at these options. A, cheese, peanuts, fish, soybean. B, beef, milk, coconut, string beans. C, beans, milk, double cream, cheese. And D, beef, eggs, breadfruit, vegetarian, cheese. Now, even though these options have protein sources, we're looking for the best source, and this looks like it is A, which is cheese, peanuts, fish, and soya bean, right? As you can see with the other sources, with the other options, there are some sources there that are not rich in protein, like the coconut and the string beans, right? As well as the one with the breadfruit option here. Good. Now, what we're looking for is the best source, and A is the most suitable answer here. Number 2, the World Health Organization defines health as a complete state of A, physical and social well-being and not just the absence of disease. B, physical and psychosocial well-being and not just the absence of disease or infirmity. C, physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Or D, physical and spiritual well-being and not merely the absence of disease, right? Now, even though all these definitions can be used to define health, we're looking for the particular definition that was coined by who, right? Which is World Health Organization. And the most ideal answer here is C, which is physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. 3. Which of the following dieting practices will promote good nutritional status? Now, nutritional status refers to the state of the body resulting from the quality and quantity of nutrients taken into the body. So we're looking for which of the following practices will promote a good nutritional status, right? 1, reducing fatty foods. 2, eating balanced meals. 3, increasing the use of fruits and vegetables. Now, we can all agree that all of these options will indeed promote good nutritional status. Therefore, we're looking for the options that has 1, 2, and 3. And that looks like it is D. Awesome, right? So our answer there is D. Number 4, which of the following persons require the most energy-giving foods in their diet? So we're thinking of someone who what? Someone who does a lot of manual work, so lifting, mixing mortar, carrying mortar. As you see, A has mason, B has teachers, C secretaries, and D electricians. So the most ideal answer here, who you think will burn more calories while they're working? Is it the masons? Awesome. So if your answer is A, you are correct. Now, teachers and secretaries basically have a sedentary lifestyle. And also, likewise, when electricians are compared to masons, you know that the masons do more manual work, such as heavy lifting, mixing mortar, carrying blocks, cement, you name it. All right. Number 5. Whole wheat flour is preferred to white flour because whole wheat flour has A, more protein, B, a longer shelf life, C, a higher fiber content, D, more natural vitamins. Now, if you're thinking of, all right, so if you're thinking of C, you are correct. So wheat flour has a higher fiber content. Whole wheat flour has a higher fiber content than the white flour, right? Because within the white flour, it passed through processing to get to only the endosperm that is used to make the flour, right? Now with the wheat, you have the bran, the outer layer, and all those different parts that you can think of will contributes roughage or dietary fiber to the diet to aid in digestion. Number 6, which of the following groups of health disorders are classified as deficiency diseases? Now remember, deficiency diseases are those that illnesses that someone has because they're lacking a particular nutrient, especially a mineral. All right, now let us look at these responses. A, bulimia, rickets, sore eye, jaundice. B, pellagra, beriberi, eczema, arthritis. C, protein energy imbalance, night blindness, anemia, rickets. We have a winner there. And D, high blood pressure, scurvy, scabies, and color blindness. Now, which is the answer, guys? If your response is C, you are correct, as protein energy imbalance is a lack of protein that may cause kwashiorkor or marasmus, night blindness, a lack of vitamin A, anemia, a lack of the mineral iron, and rickets also caused by a lacking of calcium, or we may even say vitamin D or phosphorus. All right, now let us move on to question 7. Which of the following diseases is prevented by an adequate intake of foods rich in vitamin A? Therefore, we're asking about the deficiency disease when there's a lack of vitamin A in the diet. A, scurvy. B, pellagra. C, beriberi. And D, night blindness. What is the answer? Dun, 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 dun. If your response is D, you are correct, which is night blindness. Number 8, to conserve vitamin C in sweet pepper, it is best to 1, eat the sweet pepper in its raw state. 2, prepare the sweet pepper immediately before eating. 3, boil the sweet pepper for 30 minutes. Now, as you see here, to conserve vitamin C, which is what? A water-soluble vitamin, right? Therefore, to conserve vitamin C, let us look at the option again. Eat the sweet pepper in its raw state, which is good. Therefore, no cooking will take place, which will cause the destruction of the vitamin or leaching of the vitamin in any form of cooking liquid. 2, prepare the sweet pepper immediately before eating, which is very good as well, because when the sweet pepper is cut, the enzyme is also activated and therefore it deteriorates faster, right? Therefore, oxidation may take place and you may find out the destruction of vitamin C start to occur as well. Boil the sweet pepper for 30 minutes, that's a no-no, because we would lose all those vitamin C. Therefore, we're looking for an option that has 1 and 2 only, and therefore the best option here is A. Number 9, which of the following is not a form of malnutrition, right? Now remember, malnutrition refers to the incorrect intake of nutrients. So some person may take too much, which is overnutrition, or too little, which is undernutrition, right? So in some case, we may be, nutrients are oversupplied, and in another case, there is a lacking of a particular nutrient, which can cause a deficiency disease. All right, so A, obesity, B, diarrhea, C, marasmus, D, kwashiorkor. Which is the correct answer? I know you know it. Awesome. If your answer is B, you are correct, which is diarrhea. Number 10, orders consist of a variety of colorful, well-seasoned foods served as A, desserts, B, appetizers, C, main dishes, D, accompaniments. What's the answer? If your response is B, you are correct, which is appetizers. Number 11, which of the following factors influence the planning of family meals? 1, age, 2, sex, 3, occupation. Right? Now, the age of the person, don't you think that is important? So, depending on if we're planning meals for the elderly or the toddler or a teenager, you know that certain nutrient rich foods must be present. Also the sex, so women versus men, you know that women need adequate supply of all the nutrients, especially iron as well, because of the menstrual cycle. And also occupation, if we're planning meals for a mason versus a secretary or a teacher, you know the energy requirements is also different as well. So it is safe to say that all of these factors influence meal planning for the family. Therefore, we're looking for an option that has 1, 2, and 3. And this option is D. Awesome. When bottling foods during preservation, heat treatment can be carried out in 1, the oven, 2, the sun, 3, a hot water bath on the hob. Now, a hot water bath on the hob referring to the top of the stove in some hot water, boiling water, also in the oven. Can we sterilize in the sun, right? Can heat treatment take place in the sun? No, we believe not, because the sunlight varies. It's not as hot enough to kill certain microorganisms that we're trying to get rid of. Therefore, we're looking for the option that has 1 and 3 only. And this is option C. Good. Number 13. Which of the following dishes should comprise the main course of a one-course meal? Now, even before we go through the options, what does a one-course meal consist of? Your protein, your carbohydrate, and your non-starchy vegetables. Good? So we're speaking of green leafy vegetables. Now, let us see if we see that option there. A, protein, carbohydrate, dessert. B, protein, dessert, raw vegetables. C, protein, carbohydrate, raw, non-starchy vegetables. I think we have a winner here, which is C. Therefore, the answer there is C. Number 14, which of the following are reasons for blanching vegetables before freezing? 1, helps to maintain color. 2, helps to keep microorganisms alive. That's a no-no there. 3, facilitate extended storage. Therefore, we're looking for an option that has 1 and 3 only. And this option is, what it is, guys? Awesome. Option B. Next question. Which of the following are symptoms of food poisoning? A, fever, sweating, itching, and vomiting. B, runny nose, itching, vomiting, and diarrhea. C, diarrhea, runny nose, stomach cramps, and fever. D, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, and fever. Which is the correct answer? If your response is D, you are correct, which is vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, and fever. All right, next question, 16. A mango ripens very quickly after harvesting due to the action of, let's use the process of elimination. A, we know that yeast is a no-no. B, moisture, no. C, enzymes. And D, bacteria. We can also eliminate bacteria. Now, the correct answer for question 16 is enzymes. So as soon as vegetables have been harvested or fruits have been harvested, meaning that they are picked, and as soon as animals has been slaughtered, then the action of enzymes, enzyme is activated. Good. And without proper storage, items can become spoiled, and also in the case of fruits, they become riper. Good. And they ripen until it goes overripe, until it starts to break down if it's not eaten, or if the conditions aren't controlled. Good. Or if there are no preserves. So the correct answer here is C for enzymes. Number 17, which of the following is not considered when planning menus for large-scale food preparation? So we're looking for which of the following is not considered. Good. A, the size of the space for eating. Yes, we must consider this because we want to know the type of food that should be on the menu. Whether it can be a sit-down dining experience or a buffet-style service. All right. B, the number of decorations to be used. Let's leave that one for a while. C, the type of people who will consume the food. Very important to have that, right? So if we're catering for vegetarians, persons who has religious restrictions, age group as well is very important. The type of kitchen equipment available, yes, because some energy saving equipment will also be important to consider to say what is on the menu, especially when you're planning for large scale food preparation. So if you're making a huge batches of cupcakes, then you would probably want like a electric mixer or a stand mixer so that we can go faster versus a hand mixer. Also, you want to know that you have an oven as well so that you can bake the products, right? Awesome. So if it's grill on the menu, you want to know that you have a grill. So therefore, the type of kitchen equipment available is very important. So the answer here, which of the following is not considered when planning menus for a large scale group, is B. So the number of decorations to be used. Next question, which of the following is described by the term marbling? A, tenderness of meat. B, fat layer near the kidney. C, fat that can be easily seen. And D, fat deposits in and between the muscles. Right? Which is the correct answer? If your response is D, you are correct. So you have fat in the deposits in between the muscles of meat, which adds tenderness and also flavor and prevent drying out of the meat. Good. Number 19, which of the following best contributes to saving time in food preparation? A, roasting pan. B, tiered steamer. C, pressure cooker. D, heavy duty saucepan. Now, which do you think is the correct answer? If your response is C, you are correct, which is a pressure cooker. 20, which of the following is not done using a blender? A, chopping nuts. B, pureeing foods. C, beating batters. D, chopping vegetables. Which is the ideal answer here, guys? If your response is C, beaten butters, you are correct. 21. Foods placed in a refrigerator should be covered in order to A. Prevent the formation of ice crystals on them. B. Facilitate the close packing of dishes and bowls. C. Maintain the recommended storage temperature. D. Prevent them from drying out and the transfer of strong odors. Now, which option is the correct answer? If your response is D, you are correct. 22. When buying foods, which of the following practices will not ensure efficiency? A. Buying sale items. B. Preparing a market list. C. Selecting to satisfy needs. D. Choosing foods that are in season. Now, which one do you think is the answer? If your response is buying sales items, you are correct. Sweet potatoes are best stored in the refrigerator. B. A cool, dark container. C. A plastic bag at room temperature. A. A moisture-free area at room temperature. Now, the correct answer here is, if your response is a cool, dark container, you are correct. 24. The freshness of fish may be indicated by A. Soft flesh. B. Pale white gills. C. Bright raised eyes. D. An ammonia-like smell. Which is the correct answer? If your response is bright raised eyes, you are correct. Next question. Which of the following consumer organizations offer commercial testing services to the food industry? A. CARFA. B. Bureau of Standards. C. Consumer Affairs Division. D. Weights and Measure Division, right? The CARFA stands for Caribbean Public Health Agency. Now, Bureau of Standards, what they do is to test for quality and standards. C. Consumer Affairs Commission, their role is to educate the public about food and nutrition and about their rights and responsibilities. D. Weights and Measures Division, ensure that weights and measures are standardized right across the world, right? Therefore, your correct response would be awesome. If you're thinking B, you are correct. 26. The polysaccharide present in the cell walls of fruits which causes jams and jellies to set is called A. Pectin. B. Gelatin. C. Dextrin. D. Cellulose. Correct answer is, response is A, which is pectin. You are correct. 27. Which of the following is a moist method of cooking? A. Frying. B. Grilling. C. Roasting. And D. Poaching. Which is the answer? If your response is D, which is poaching, you are correct. 28. The process of adding dry heat to sugar to a point where it develops into a dark brown liquid is known as A. Gelatinization. B. Caramelization. C. Crystallization. And D. Dextrinization. Now, the correct answer here is B, which is caramelization. Good. Next question. Items 29 and 30 refers to the ingredients used in the preparation of short crust pastry. These ingredients are cold water, margarine, shortening, and flour. Now, cold water helps to bind the ingredients together. Margarine adds color and flavor, and the shortening adds to the texture, the shortness. Good. So shortening adds to the texture of the product, and deflower adds to the structure, right? Now, in answering items 29 to 30, each option may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Which of the following ingredients above contributes both flavor and color to the pastry? If your response is margarine, which is option B, you are correct. 30. Which of the following ingredients above binds the ingredients together into a dough? So after we have cut the fat into the flour, which is the margarine and the shortening into the flour, what do we use to combine? If your response is cold water, you are correct, and that is option A. You're awesome. You've made it to the end of the session. Please remember to subscribe, like, turn on your post notification bells so you can be notified when there's another upload. Also, drop a comment and share with persons who you know will find this information useful. Thank you for making it Fairies Tutorials.